the GOATs, right? How you gonna sit there and tell me Steph is not in that conversation?
I said that before.
You get what I'm saying? You can't sit there and tell me.
I said that and people clown me.
In Steph's eyes, right? Think about what Steph said. Probably, I don't know. It probably sit from. It's Mike, it's Cole, and then it's me.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Curry looking for that opening. Steps back. Crossover. Fires away. Wow! Another three! James trying to harass Curry. Curry off the dribble. Layup off the glass. Shot clock winding down. Curry's going to have to put it up. Launches it up. Shot clock. Oh! He knocks it down!
He's not going to put Bron over himself.
See?
But he has every legitimate argument.
Steph Curry recently said something that set off a wave of reactions. When asked to place himself among the greatest players of all time, he didn't hesitate. Jordan at 1, Kobe at 2, and himself right behind them. A lot of fans brushed it off, laughing and calling it arrogance. But what if that reaction is missing the bigger picture? When you really examine what Steph has achieved, and the completely unique way he's done it, his resume starts to look almost untouchable. By the end of this discussion, you might find yourself rethinking where he truly belongs in basketball history.
Shoot. Curry, deep one! Bullseye!
Almost lost it out of bounds. Curry cutting. Oh my goodness.
See Murray at midcourt trying to keep from getting a catch. Here's Curry, deep triple! It's good! We're tied again!
You know, in the shot he made a tie towards the end, it's a shot that, only he can make.
Before Steph Curry ever stepped foot in Golden State, the Warriors were a mess. Calling them bad barely covers it. From 1995 to 2009, they posted a miserable 37.6% winning percentage, the third worst in the NBA over that span. Only the perpetually doomed Clippers and the Vancouver Grizzlies were worse, and the Grizzlies were in such dire shape that the franchise eventually had to move to Memphis just to stay alive. In 14 seasons, Golden State managed only 5 total playoff wins, the second lowest mark in the league. The Grizzlies had none, which somehow made the Warriors look almost functional by comparison. If you had told anyone in 2009 that this same team would go on to rule the next decade, you would have been laughed out of the conversation. What followed, however, rewrote basketball history. Steph Curry's rise doesn't follow the usual superstar blueprint. He didn't walk into a ready-made dynasty or jump teams to chase guaranteed titles. Instead, he transformed what was arguably the league's worst franchise into the defining powerhouse of a generation. That alone puts his legacy in a category few others can touch.
Handling, crossing over, driving in, swinging on his hip. Circles to the corner. Space. And fires a three. Hit another one. He's hit 3 in a row.
Did you see what happened though on that play?
Oh, beautiful.
Loyalty in pro sports is usually just a buzzword, something printed on banners but rarely practiced. Steph Curry, though, backed it up when everything around him fell apart. In 2020, Golden State crashed to a 15-50 record, the worst in the NBA, and the basketball world rushed to declare the dynasty officially dead. When Steph returned healthy the next season, he dragged them to 39 wins, still short of the playoffs. That was all the excuse the media needed to publish their eulogies and call for a full rebuild. This is where Steph separated himself from nearly every modern superstar. He didn't ask out. There were no cryptic interviews, no leaked complaints from his camp, no public shots at management for questionable decisions. He simply showed up, worked, and believed when almost no one else did. Meanwhile, the stars of his era chose a very different path. LeBron James changed teams 4 times. Kevin Durant wore 4 different jerseys. James Harden topped them all with 5 stops. And Kawhi Leonard has bounced around while load managing so much that fans sometimes forget he's active. Player movement now defines the league, and jumping ship at the first sign of adversity is applauded as smart. Steph rejected that mindset entirely, and in 2022, the results stunned everyone who had already written him off.
Hannah, I'm told that James Harden wants a trade to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Apparently Durant requested a trade from the Nets today.
This stuff is hard. And you got to stay together if you got the guts. And you don't find the first door and run.
That championship blindsided the basketball world because most of the media had already buried this team years earlier. The prevailing storyline claims Steph was squandering the final stretch of his prime on a roster that had no real chance. Many analysts were convinced the Warriors' run ended the second Kevin Durant left. Every one of those assumptions collapsed in 2022. Steph pushed a depleted group to a 4th title and, at last, secured the Finals MVP that critics said he lacked. That ring means more than any other in his career, not because of gaudy numbers or the strength of the competition, but because of what it represents. It erased the idea that Steph needed Kevin Durant to reach the top and confirmed that the dynasty was never about perfect timing or outside help. When everything around you crumbles and the entire basketball world writes you off, finding a way to win anyway is what separates true legends from great players who never quite crossed that line.
Dominique Foxworth are going to sit on First Take and say that Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
Curry against Horford, gets past him inside, off the glass again. Fakes, fires, three-pointer, bang! Steph Curry from downtown, a 15-point lead.
But to be honest with you, I don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing home another championship.
Most basketball debates focus on how LeBron James and Kevin Durant have managed to age so well, yet Steph Curry's sustained excellence barely enters the conversation. He's still putting up elite numbers, 28. 5 points per game while shooting 47% from the field and 39% from deep. He's already dropped 40 or more points 3 times this season, including a 49-point performance that made it clear his prime hasn't slipped away. As he approaches 38, defenses throw everything they have at him and it still isn't enough. After turning 30, Steph has recorded 44 games with at least 40 points, tying Michael Jordan for the most in NBA history. That fact alone should force people to rethink the longevity debate. Jordan is widely viewed as untouchable in all-time rankings, yet Steph matches him in one of the toughest feats for aging players to sustain. Guards aren't supposed to last like this. Their legs go first, explosiveness fades, and shooting consistency usually drops. Steph has broken every expectation analysts have about point guard decline. LeBron is rightfully praised for his durability, with entire media segments devoted to his conditioning and longevity. Steph, meanwhile, delivers comparable impact from a position with a far shorter lifespan and barely gets acknowledged for it. Many fans locked in their opinion of where Steph belongs years ago and refuse to adjust, even as the evidence keeps piling up. The numbers paint a clear picture whether people want to admit it or not. Beyond the stats, Steph's professionalism sets him apart in today's player empowerment era. While stars regularly vent on podcasts, leak frustrations to reporters, or post trade demands online, Steph stays silent and focused. He doesn't shift blame or shape narratives at others' expense. His approach feels almost outdated, less about noise, more about work, and that quiet consistency is just as much a part of his legacy as anything he's done on the court.
What Steph said, probably, I don't know, it probably sit from. It's Mike, it's Cole, and then it's me. Right? Like, he's not going to put Bron over himself.
See?
But he has every legitimate argument.
And I asked the
to
question.
Sit there.
Show up, dominate, go home, and do it again. That's been Steph Curry's approach for nearly 2 decades. Even during the Warriors' rough stretches, he never singled out teammates or pointed fingers in front of a microphone. When front office decisions tested his patience, he handled it quietly instead of turning frustration into a headline. Reporters tried again and again to pull him into controversy, and every time he refused. Franchise stars who operate like that have become increasingly rare, and that kind of leadership carries more weight than most fans realize. Comparing Steph to legends like Kobe, Magic, or Duncan is one way to frame his career, but the more revealing comparison is against his own era. By that measure, he stands alone. Nearly all of his peers followed the same script. Jump teams, formed supergroups, and chased the easiest path to titles once adversity hit. That strategy is accepted now, even praised. But it changes how achievements should be evaluated next to someone who chose the harder road. Carmelo Anthony tried to build something in New York and watched it fall apart inside a dysfunctional organization. Shaq reached the finals in Orlando, lost, and immediately bolted for Los Angeles when a better situation emerged. Even the most physically dominant players the league has ever seen struggled to do what Steph did. Create a dynasty from nothing and keep it alive through the lowest moments. That kind of legacy requires more than talent. It demands resilience. Steph's 30s alone form a resume that rivals almost anyone in NBA history. 2 championships define that decade, supported by a Finals MVP, 7 All-NBA selections, and a scoring title, accomplishments most players never sniff at any stage of their careers. Lineups changed around him, stars missed time, and the roster was overhauled more than once. Each time the league counted Golden State out, Steph found a way to drag them back into contention. Beyond trophies, the sport itself looks different because of him. Steph normalized pulling up from 30 feet, and teams that once avoided high-volume three-point shooting now design offenses around it. Players attempt shots that would have earned them a seat on the bench a generation ago, and coaches build entire systems around spacing and range. Front offices draft and develop talent with shooting as a priority because of what Golden State proved was possible. Very few athletes can say they changed how their game is played. Steph belongs in that rare class. Viewed through that lens, his decision to rank himself behind only Jordan and Kobe sounds far less outrageous. Building a dynasty instead of joining one takes patience, belief, and a willingness to endure seasons where results don't come easily. Staying loyal while others chase shortcuts reveals a level of character numbers alone can't explain. Transforming a sport while maintaining elite play deep into your late 30s creates a legacy that will only grow stronger with time. The real debate isn't whether Steph Curry belongs among the all-time greats. The evidence keeps stacking up. The more interesting question is why so many people still work so hard to pretend he doesn't.